Good evening, lifers. Good evening, community. I am Ruth, your peace coach, and welcome to 15 to Life, where we learn, grow, and serve for a peaceful life. In these next 15 minutes, I not only prepare you for your upcoming week, but for the rest of your life. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining 15 to Life. I know you could be doing anything in these next 15 minutes, but you are here with us. And if it is your first time, put your name in the comment section, as I want to know who you are so that we can greet you. And ladies, you all know, if you haven't already, make sure you like the page, follow the page, share the stream, because we are still growing our community. And I need you all to do that, because help me do that. And I believe, as I always say, that I know we have something good going on here, and we call ourselves lifers because why? We are doing life together. All right, ladies. So I am back. I did take last week off. It was the holiday, and I had family that came in town, and so we had a great time just sort of hanging out, and didn't do anything, just played games and ate and all that good stuff. And I hope you had a great holiday weekend. If you did something special, put it in the comment section and let us know what wonderful thing you did for the holiday weekend. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I tell you what, this is the month of September. And in the month of September, I was thinking, okay, pondering, like, what do I want to talk about for the month of September? Because, we always have a theme for that whole month. And I thought about us going into fall, and this is the fall season, and the leaves are falling from the trees, and the days are getting shorter, and all those kinds of things. Is getting a little bit cooler. You might be thinking about getting those sweaters out now, and I love my sweaters. But when I thought about things falling, I thought about the word fall. And then what came to mind, and I know y'all know this is just how I think. And so what came to my mind is this: don't fall for the okey doke. Don't fall for the okey doke. And you may be saying, what are you talking about? Don't fall for the okey doke. So okey doke, when we're saying don't fall for the okey doke, that means someone who has been tricked or duped. You don't want to be tricked or duped. And let me give you just a little bit of background on that word okey doke. It all started back in, I think, like 1839, when there was an editor at a Boston newspaper. And instead of him writing out the word all correct, ALLCORRECT, all correct, he used the letters O and K as if to say all correct, spelling it OLLKORRECT. So okay was really all correct, but it was spelled wrong. So I guess that was funny back then. So then people just started using the term okay. Then in the 1930s, mainly the white community started using the term okey doke, okey dokey. That's what they would say, okey doke. So you've heard people say okey dokey, so it's like, oh, everything's okay, cool, okey dokey. Well, then around the same time, Black people in the African American community started saying okey doke, as in don't fall for the okey dokey. So it's like if someone is saying to you, okay, okie dokie, everything's okay, they were like, I don't know about that. So don't fall for the okie doke. So that's how that all came from. So y'all know I got to do my history. So now you know where the okay came from. Started with all correct, ALLCORRECT, then all correct as a joke, OLLKORRECT. Okay, and then it went to the okey dokey, and then okey doke. All right, if you learned something on that, let me know. Let me see who was on here. Okay, Charlotte Springer, all the way from Georgia. How are you doing? So glad to have you on tonight. And again, it was so good to meet you, and thank you for being on. I know you could be doing something. Hey, Tamika, Monica Brown, how are you? my mother-in-law, Auntie Vivian. How are you? Evangelist Pryor, Sandra Easley. All right, love you guys. Thank you all so for watching. Ashley, how are you this evening? Johnny Thornton. All right, guys, ladies, let me get going. So, what we're going to be talking about for the next 3 weeks is don't fall for the okey doke. Don't fall for the okey doke. And let me give you an example also of falling for the okey doke. And what I thought about was the movie The Wizard of Oz. And if you remember, y'all know I love my movies. In the movie The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy, she's all upset because Elvira Gulch is, going to take Toto away because Toto was in her yard and bit her and all that kind of stuff. And then when she takes Toto, then he gets out of the basket and runs back to Dorothy, and he's like, okay, we just have to run away. Well, when she runs away, the first person that she runs into is the fortune teller. That was the first person that she ran into, was the fortune teller. And he tricks her because he's making her think that he's telling her her future, but really he tells her to close her eyes. And you can see the picture there. He digs in, he gets her basket and pulls out a picture of she and Aunt Em. So he proceeds to tell her some stuff about she and Aunt Em. And Dorothy is gullible and she falls for the okey doke. And then later on in the movie, this same character, he is actually the wizard in The Wizard of Oz, and he is doing the ultimate okey doke when he's pretending to be the wizard and tricking all of them into thinking that he is somebody that he is absolutely is not. So he's the ultimate don't fall for the okey doke. He's the ultimate trickster. So yes, so that's just an example of don't fall for the okey doke of that person that sort of personifies that. Now, moving on. So when we're thinking about not falling for the okey doke, don't be tricked. So then I thought about what are some things that we tend to believe about ourselves when we're thinking about the okey doke or being tricked. And I think one of the biggest things that we fall for in regards to ourself is this. It is that you're not good enough. That you're not good enough. And I found this little quote that says, the worst feeling in the world is knowing you did the best you could and it still wasn't good enough. And if you've ever felt that way, which I know I have, and if you've ever felt that way, just give me a hands up in the comments and say, hey, that's me. And even if you want to say something that you did that you felt made you feel like that you're not good enough, put that in the comment section, because ladies, you don't know so many times when you make your comments that you are blessing somebody else, and then you're giving somebody else the courage to say how they feel. And I want you to always know that this is a safe environment, that nobody's here to judge or anything like that. Okay. So if you've ever felt that you weren't good enough, maybe you did lose all the weight, but still, when you look in the mirror, you still feel not good enough. Maybe you went to school. You got the degree. Maybe you even got your master's. Maybe you even moved on to your doctorate. But still, when you look in that mirror, you're still that little girl that somebody said, you're never going to make it. You're never going to be anybody. So you still feel that you aren't good enough. So then you feel like I need to go back to school to get another degree. And then maybe I'll feel good enough. Maybe you get that job and you're at the pinnacle of your career, but you still, when you look in that mirror, feel that you're not good enough because you don't look a certain way, or maybe your hair is different, or whatever it might be, that you still aren't good enough. And if you have felt that way, then I want you to put that in the comments as well. So first thing is, what does the Bible say about you? And as far as you being good enough, first thing the Bible says in Ephesians 2:10, it says, for we are his workmanship, his own masterwork, a work of art, created in Christ Jesus, reborn from above, spiritually transformed, renewed, ready to be used for good works, which God prepared for us beforehand, taking paths which he set so that we would walk in them, living the good life which he prearranged and made ready for us. So you are God's workmanship. You're a piece of art. You're a masterpiece, and you are good enough. You are good enough. And this is for somebody. And I need you to look in that mirror and tell yourself that I am good enough. It says you're transformed, renewed, and you're ready to be used by God. You're ready to be used by God. You are good enough. I'm sorry, I got on the wrong thing here. You are good enough. This is what I need you to know. First point. I only got 2 for tonight because I only got 4 minutes left. You are good enough. Don't let anyone or even yourself say otherwise. You are good enough. You are great. You are his masterpiece. You are not a failure. You're not. I don't know how many times I can say it. You are good enough. Don't let someone's, how can I say it? Don't let their happiness determine whether or not you're happy. Don't let their happiness determine whether or not you are happy. Don't let someone else control you in that manner. You are good enough. Don't let that coworker make you feel that you're less than, maybe because they have a degree and maybe you don't. Don't let someone make you feel that you're not good enough because maybe they're a size 4 and you're a larger size, and so you don't feel good enough. No, don't make someone make you feel bad because maybe their skin is a different tone color than yours. You are good enough. Even if it was your mom that said you're not good enough, your dad, they don't determine that. God determines that. You're good enough. And then here's the other thought. Goes along with the other. Stop letting other people determine your worth. Proverbs 31:10 says, you are more precious than rubies. Stop letting other people determine your worth. And you ladies know, when I first started running, it was so hard for me because I was comparing myself to all these other runners, these, much younger people who had younger legs and they could run faster and they were going further and quicker. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm just never going to be able to do this. I cannot compete. And it was, in the beginning was making me feel really bad about myself. But then I had to change my mindset and say, you know what? I have to run my race. I can't run their race and they can't run my race. And so once I changed my mindset, even though they kept running faster than me, I knew I would never catch up to them, but I was fine running my race. And I have been fine ever since. So you got to know that in your life. Don't compare yourself to other people. Don't allow somebody else to determine your self-worth. It's what God says about you. You are more precious than rubies, and you are good enough. So don't fall for that okey doke. Don't be like Eve. Y'all hear me talk about her all the time. She fell for the okey doke with Satan because he was like, he sowed doubt. And that's what happens in our minds. We sow doubt, or we allow people to sow doubt in us. We allow society to sow doubt in us. And it is 6:15 and I got to go. But I just want to let you know, ladies, don't fall for the okey doke, that you are good enough. And we're going to talk about another don't fall for the okey doke next week. But we always remember, I love you. I believe in you. I believe in your dreams. You are good enough, and don't fall for the okey doke. I'll see you next week. I love you to life. All right. Bye-bye.